the Fox 29 studios, this is Good Day Philadelphia.
So the investigation continues into a deadly amusement park accident at the Ohio State Fair. But even though it happened at the Ohio State Fair where one person was killed, so many other states are now going back and looking through their carnival rides and what they're doing. Yeah, the victim was identified as 18 years old, Tyler Gerald. He was killed 5 days after enlisting into the Marines. So the video, when we pause it here, that whole thing a piece of it comes flying off. People were thrown to the ground. It's called the Fireball. That's the name of that ride. 7 people were injured, most of them in critical condition. By the way, Tyler's girlfriend, the young man who lost his life, is among 5 of the people listed in critical. Officials say the ride was inspected 3 or 4 times and passed the inspection as the carnival opened.
We do not rush inspections. Our inspections take place, and as amusement rides come in, they're checked several times why they're being put up, and each and every day.
So in the wake of that accident, Maurice Pier in Wildwood announced its ride, it's called It, will be shut down while the investigation is ongoing.
Okay.
So now we're going to bring in an attorney who specializes in cases involving amusement park accidents to share his perspective on this, because it was really concerning for so many people to hear that it passed the inspection, yet that still happened.
This is Jeffrey Reiff right here. You've dedicated your life to looking into these things. What happened to you in 1999?
Well, in 1999, I was with my wife, my nephews, my children at a local park in New Jersey. All the kids loved to go to the parks. There was an innocuous ride. My wife wanted I wanted the kids to go on the ride. My wife said they're not safe. She was overprotective. I thought she was a bit crazy. And later that evening, a mother, 39-year-old mother, was ejected from the ride with her son, and there was a catastrophic accident that really impacted my life forever.
They both died?
One of them died, the other was critically injured.
Yeah. So that changed your life?
It changed my life. We became advocates for consumer safety and amusement park safety, and we do amusement park cases all over the United States.
Have you gotten any calls from Ohio now?
We got a call last evening from one of the victims in this case. So we'll be following up and investigating it closely.
So how often does this happen then?
Unfortunately, carnivals, or it happens more often than not, carnivals are a unique breed. They're traveling, rides are set up and disassembled, put on trucks. And in Ohio, you know, you have 70 rides that are being set up. There was some bad weather at the beginning of the week, and you've got an inspector really looking at 70 rides or so, and these are technical and complex rides, and they're not on fixed sites.
No.
So what happens, every time that ride is taken apart and reassembled, there's stress, there's wear and tear, there's different ground conditions. Fixed rides are safer, but on a carnival ride, they're anchored, they're bolted down, and they're secured. And on some of these rides where you have a lot of momentum and movement, if it's chalk down on the chalk, that chalk could be knocked out. So we'll be looking at a lot of factors in this ride. And I have to tell you, Ohio is one of the better states for amusement park safety, very comprehensive. But what we also have to look at, who's doing the inspection?
And that's what I was going to ask you, because I'm a big fan of state fairs. I've been going ever since I was little to Texas, since I was 4, and I love riding the rides. But I have always wondered, in the beginning, when they set up the fair, is that the only time they have inspection? Do it once a week, every day?
They're supposed to have them regularly.
What's regularly?
Well, during the entire inspection process, before the ride is set up, after the ride is set up, but most of the time, these are cursory inspections. You have to understand, these rides are very complex, and there's computerized systems, sophisticated, complex engineering systems, and they typically, the people that are inspecting these rides don't have the background necessary. When we inspect a ride after an accident, it takes us perhaps weeks, if not months, to figure it out.
Okay, so the fair opens up in whatever state, let's say the state of Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Who do they ask to come inspect it?
Well, different states, what happens is...
Local humans?
Department of Agriculture in Pennsylvania and in Ohio. And, you know, the problem is you've got, in Ohio, for example, we have, which is one of the best, right now the accident's being investigated by the Ohio State Police Highway Patrol.
Well, what do they know about it?
Well, they're very good in accident reconstruction on motor vehicle accidents, but you raise a very good point. These machines are so complex that they require such engineering specialists, warning and safety experts, computer experts, that's where there's often loopholes, and there's often time frames Here, in this incident, there was rain at the beginning of when they're setting up 70 rides. They're trying to get everything open by opening day.
Yes.
This is just simply a catastrophic accident.
What's happening at Morris Pier?
Morris Pier rightfully shut down their IT ride last night, which is a very similar ride, and also many other parks shut down their rides. I give them all credit because typically what happens once a major accident occurs with a particular piece of equipment or a similar piece of equipment, the manufacturer will send out a warning, or some of the park owners on their own will say, you know what, we want to wait and see what's going on here before we open it up to others.
It sounds like, at least for me, this person who rides these kind of rides, and I enjoy them, that there needs to be some changes then, or more regulations, or something needs to be done.
You couldn't have said it better. You know, there's a patchwork of regulations. What's interesting here is the inspection regulations of one state vary with the inspection regulations in another state. So while a ride may be deemed safe in one state on a traveling carnival, you get to another state, the rules are much more lax.
Do you have any kids?
I have 3 kids.
Would you let them ride a carnival ride that was just temporarily set up?
I'll tell you the question, I'm asked this all the time. You know, I'd rather say no to my child than to have to go back afterwards and say, honey, I'm sorry I didn't say no, understanding what I know about the amusement industry. Traveling carnivals are inherent with a lot of risks. Think about the people that put these rides together. You know, when you think of a carny, what do you think about?
Wow.
And that's one of my concerns. I think fixed park rides are much safer.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Jeffrey, thanks.
We appreciate your insight.
Okay.